people are attending their shows. So there is no point in going into the depression and morass the community is blamed to be. I see all the opportunities. And the speakers before me spoke wonderful things. Thomas sir, Mathur sir, Hamare Ghazi sir, or Uwais Saab, the young gentleman. They spoke so many wonderful things. There are so many cues and clues to the ideas. There is so much to be done, no doubt, on education, empowerment. But the thing is that one has to begin somewhere. Some concrete steps need to be taken, and those concrete steps should come from within. Nobody will help you. We are supposed to help ourselves. If any support from the government comes, it's a welcome bonus rather than one or vying for one or crying for one. We have to build our own forces as the forces, not forces in terms of aggression, forces in terms of education, enablement, empowerment, collaboration, contribution, charity, communication. You speak, there are thousands of words to be done. Words are like viruses. You take them as motivators or you take them as infectious viruses. They are like parallels. Now, as a scientist, what I could contribute here? So at least give some ideas of my own. How can the community go about? The thing is, I was in one more, some majority community like socially backward, so-called backward communities. They created one Samradh Bharat Chamber of Commerce. Why not we create a Chamber of Commerce of minorities? But even if you do, and you create the resources therein, you don't have to work for the community alone. You have to work for the nation. You have to lead an example. We have led as an example, historically, literally, professionally, skillfully, educationally. There are people, there are Sufis, Sheikh Sadis, whose quotations are 10 times maybe stronger than what you read every day, Winston Churchill. We see Ghalib, we see Mir, we see John Eliot, and beyond them, dear Usatasa, and beyond them, Sahabe Karami. We have examples. We have to contribute positively. What are those positives? For example, I'll give you a couple of examples. Side by side, many people have quoted many things. For example, dialogue and discussion, social interaction, what was said. Our mosques used to be the legions of leadership, which were giving a breeding ground for intellectualism and the spread of humanity. Now, where is that? Our madrasas are doing wonderful job, tremendous effort, but that is going down the drain because there is no professionalism. The education you provide there in life is not required more than, as Thomas sir said, overindulgence in religion is a disease. So those people, in spite of the best of the efforts, best of the integrity, best of no doubt everything, but it is going down the drain because the education system you are giving is nowhere in the mainstream. So why not the children you are providing the shelter, clothes and the food are going to be diverted into making only Maulvis? I don't have a problem with the Maulvis, but only Maulvis is a problem for me at least. I may be wrong. We have to tackle our problems professionally, collectively, as a community, but as an example for the nation. Let us create caucuses which are islands of beauty and as example to the society, so that the other communities, which you call other communities, and this otherness is very diseased. Nobody in the nation is an other. Anybody who thinks is an other, it is a disease unto itself. If you read my quotes on the Facebook, even I say caste is a disease. I'll not name the people, but they are vying for caste census. Something which is totally outrageously scientifically wrong. Even racism has some logical genesis. What is race? Race is made by so-called God. Any animal entering into the territory of the other animal will be recognized as an alien and will be attacked. We have millions of the proteins in our body, but if one protein from the cobra enters our body, our whole body reacts. So why not the people will react against the races? If a white person entered in the tribes of the blacks, they used to react out of the fear, and vice versa. So racism has some genesis against the foreign. Caste is even worse because you are harming your own people. So, and beyond that, our social enlightenment is so poor. What one Arabic poet, basically Khurshid Rizvi, has written many things, but one thing he wrote, ये जो नाम थे, ये जो नंग थे, मुझे खा गए. वो ये जो ख्याल पुख्ता खाम थे, मुझे खा गए. The wrong concepts enshrined and impelled upon us, they took toll on us. This is the crux and the core of the problem. But whatever situations, circumstances, the community or any community, not other community or that community, any community has to come out positively. Positivity is the only sign of humanism. The compassion from the animal, you grade to be the human on the basis of the logic. Societies define human beings different from the animals on the basis of the logic, communication, and the passion. These are the three traits, and they happen to be still the same. So what I suggest for this August gathering, वैसे तो मुझे वकीलों से डर लगता है घर के बाहर, लेकिन जब से मेरे दोनों बेटों ने लॉ किया है तो मुझे डर लगना थोड़ा खत्म हो गया, क्योंकि मैं वकीलों को रोज डांटता हूँ घर में. आज थोड़ा सा डर कम लग रहा है, सब लोग जो है बड़े प्यार से बुला के हम बिठाए वकील. सर शुक्रिया बहुत बहुत. तो मैंने एक तो छोटा सा आइडिया ये शेयर किया है, let us make a chamber of commerce that will not work only for the community, that will be led by the community. Give a positive example. You set up banks, you set up charities, you set up NGOs, you set up institutions, create the modules, let those modules seed other modules. As an example, being an agricultural scientist, I can take the responsibility of leading agribusiness modules. You can entrust upon me, and wherein being maybe even if that thought doesn't go out from your mind, howsoever negative you stay, at least some people you think that they are other, still you rope in them. Specialization, the science, the knowledge base, the community base, the network, the social network, it is so internecine in our country that nobody can alienate or delineate. At some point of time, they are interspersed. And all the negativities in the society are very temporary and ephemeral. Let us not fall prey to those temporary things. Let us stay positive. So we make one chamber of commerce which will lead the nation, and Let the community who thinks harassed, let them lead and work for the nation, for all, not only for the minority. Minority help will automatically be there when you are taking the leadership. If you are still ignoring the minority, so they are either worth ignorance or worth ignorable, or it is your problem then. It is nobody else's problem. So we can have several things like agri-entrepreneurships. There is a lot of skill base in the communities which people think that they are backward. I don't consider anybody backward. It is the if the positivity is there, you can use even your weaknesses as your strength. So as I said, that the one activity that can be started is open mosque sessions, which are liberal, which are discussing social problems, and which are providing solutions. So always stay in the solution mode and the support mode and the societal mode rather than communal mode. So let us be very positive, come out with the models. Agri-business model I take and I will definitely contribute. अपने औकात के अंदर at least one salary of my life I will give to this initiative, I promise. Then other than agri-entrepreneurships, because we have a skill base, let us take initiatives to say, make a skill-based manpower resource which supplies and which can negotiate. Whosoever you think backward, let him be scheduled caste, let him be Christian, let him be Jain, let him be Muslim. You be a support for them and supply and negotiate for the empowerment and support of the people and block. So they are your people, you are supposed to take care. Then rural community banks you can create. It requires around 25,000 to 35,000 accounts. And you can fund several initiatives which can empower the community suo moto. We can create export clusters. Minorities who think weak, they have 56 countries which are food deficient. And we have so many bases of the poor farmers. We can make clusters of them. And we can supply the food there and empower the whole nation and the community also. Then professional institutions and other things have been talked about. We can make food banks based on these clusters also. Then human resources. And we can also make, because our community, I'll tell you, the creativity, लोग अक्सर पूछते हैं मुझसे क्रिएटिविटी कहां से आती है? क्रिएटिविटी आती है साफ नियत से। खराब नियत से वो साजिशें ही आती हैं। जो गुरु नानक सोचते थे या पैगंबर सोचते थे या जीसस क्राइस्ट सोचते थे या गौतम बुद्ध सोचते थे, जो हमारे साधु संत सोचते थे, वो अपने से हटके सोचते थे। खुदा से जुड़ने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका अपने आप से जुदा हो जाना। तो हमको बहुत ज्यादा डिप्रेशन में रहने की जरूरत नहीं है। हमको जो है गलत ज्ञान से बचना है, हमको पॉजिटिव रहना है। साकी फारूकी साहब ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही है कि दामन में आंसुओं का जखीरा न कर अभी, ये सब्र का मुकाम है, गिरिया न कर अभी। दुनिया पे अपने इल्म की, अब इल्म की तो रोशनी होती है, साकी साहब ने क्या बात, दुनिया पे अपने इल्म की परछाइयां न डाल, रोशनी फरोश अंधेरा न कर अभी। तो निगेटिव बात के अंधेरे वो इतनी खामोशी से जहर बो देते हैं, कम्युनिटी के नाम पे, वीकनेस के नाम पे, दबाव के नाम से, डर के नाम से। अरे 10,000 लोग काबू में नहीं आते हैं, 25 करोड़ लोग डरे हुए बैठे हैं, क्यों बैठे हैं? You have everything you require. आपके पास नियत है, जज्बा है, जमीन है, एजुकेशन है, स्किल है, आपके पास नेटवर्क है, आपके पास मस्जिद है। उन मस्जिदों का कितना खूबसूरत इस्तेमाल हमारी हिस्ट्री में रह चुका है, कम्युनिटी के लिए, सबके लिए। वो खाली मुसलमानों के लिए हिम्मत काम नहीं करते थे, सबके लिए काम करते थे। तो कई बार दंगों वगैरह में देखा गया है कि लोगों ने मस्जिद में नमाज नहीं पढ़ पाए तो लोगों ने चर्च खोल दिए, गुरुद्वारे खोल दिए। तो मैं अक्सर कहता था मस्जिद कब खोल रहे? तो लेकिन इस बार बड़ा अच्छा देखा गया, कुंभ के मेले में जब मुसीबत आई तो मुस्लिम्स ने बड़ा अच्छा काम किया, बड़ी दिल को तसल्ली हुई। तो हमको हमेशा पॉजिटिव रहना है और किसी को दूसरा नहीं समझना है, सबको ही अपना समझिए, सभी अपने हैं और हम पॉजिटिवली पूरी कंट्री के लिए बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं। पहले हम कलेक्टिव होना सीखे नियत से। इस्लाम में सबसे ज्यादा पर्टिकुलरली इस पर जोर दिया गया है, वो नियत। नियत ही इंसानियत है, नियत ही जज्बा है, नियत ही होप है और होप ही लाइफ है। द ओनली वन वर्ड सिनोनिम ऑफ लाइफ इज होप। शुक्रिया बहुत बहुत। और माफी पहले से।
Constructive ideas with university and the Alexander Galchakov Fund. He has represented India twice at the BRICS International School in Moscow. He has served as guest editors for several Scopus and Web of Sciences Index journals and completed an ICSR major research project on FDI in post-COVID India. I would like to call upon Dr. Mohammad Nayyar Rahman to take the dais and address the gathering.
With due respect to and kind permission of the President of the session, Janab Mohammad Atikur Rahman Sahab, all the dignitaries in the front row and all the audiences, thank you very much for inviting me as a speaker on this very important topic, that is backwardness in communities, the causes and its remedies, the minority community. I'll start from a theory given by Samuel P. Huntington. Samuel P. Huntington एक हिस्टोरियन है और उसने सबसे पहली बार कई सिविलाइजेशंस पे स्टडी करके हिस्ट्री ऑफ टाइम लिखी, जो कि काफी वॉल्यूम्स में है, और उसी के बेसिस पे एक थ्योरी निकली, क्लैश ऑफ सिविलाइजेशंस, जिस थ्योरी पे पूरा इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस आज वर्क करता है। और उसने कहा कि 3 सिविलाइजेशंस दुनिया में है जो कि सबसे ज्यादा लंबे वक्फे तक चलेंगे। उसमें एक चाइनीज सिविलाइजेशन था, एक मुस्लिम सिविलाइजेशन था और एक रूसी सिविलाइजेशन। उसकी अपनी तहकीक थी। उसके बाद उसने ये मालूम करने की कोशिश की कि ऐसी कौन सी सिफतें हैं जिनसे एक कम्युनिटी अगर बिल्कुल नीचे गिर जाए और फिर वो दोबारा उठने की कोशिश करे, यानी कि कोई कम्युनिटी अगर ये मान ले कि वो बैकवर्ड है या वो बैकवर्ड हो जाए, तो वो कैसी क्वालिटीज हैं, सिफतें हैं जिनकी जरूरत पड़ेगी उसे वापस उभरने। उसने 2 कॉन्सेप्ट दी। पहला उसने कहा कि ऐसे मरहले में, इन सच अ सिनेरियो, communities have 2 answers. The first is to look towards those communities which are superior in their times. उन कम्युनिटीज की तरफ वो देखते हैं जो कामयाब कम्युनिटी है और उनकी तरह बिहेव करना शुरू करते हैं। दूसरा उसने कहा, दूसरा तरीका ये होता है कि वो अपने पास्ट में देखें कि हाउ दे वर सुपीरियर, वो किस तरीके से सुपीरियर थे। बोथ दीज आंसर्स आर अवेलेबल टू एवरी कम्युनिटी, और ये हम अपनी जाती जिंदगी में भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। वी कैन अप्लाई इट इन आवर लाइव्स आल्सो। नाउ अकॉर्डिंग टू सैमुअल पी हंटिंगटन, टू व्हिच आई एग्री आल्सो, the best way is to look towards your past in order to become better in the future, because of several scientific reasons, be it genetic reasons, be it reasons because your prose and poetry is coming from your fathers and forefathers, etc. So my first submission is that one of the causes of backwardness in minority communities, any community, whether it be Muslim community, Hindu community, the Jain community or Sikh community or Parsi community, the reason is that they have they are looking at the superior community rather than looking at what was their past. So my first humble submission is that we should first start looking towards our past, that what has been our superior times and what were the reasons for those times. And if we look into it, like Sir said about a chamber of commerce for Muslim community, and it's a very good point. I like to add in it. Medieval times में जितनी भी तिजारत ट्रेड दुनिया में होती, that was clustered around the Central Asia, the Ottoman Empire. And you must be surprised to know, because one of the problems is that we're not able to access, or it's not accessible, the original documents of those times. If you see, इसको आज हम चेक कहते हैं. ट्रेडर्स तिजारत के लिए सबसे ज्यादा पहले इस तरह के चेक्स ऑटोमन एम्पायर में इस्तेमाल होना शुरू हुआ. दैट वाज अ इंडिकेटर ऑफ ट्रस्ट बिटवीन ट्रेडर. तो आपको पता है उस टाइम में कफाला होता था, जब तिजारत होती थी तो पता नहीं होता था कितने लोग जा रहे हैं कितने वापस आए. तो कफाले के तौर पर एक डॉक्यूमेंट होता था जो ट्रेडर के ट्रस्ट पे चलता था, और एक बार किसी ट्रेडर का वो कफाला सर्टिफिकेट अगर हुकूमत ने वापस ले लिया, इसका मतलब ट्रस्ट खत्म. और पूरी इकोनॉमी उस टाइम तिजारत की इस ट्रस्ट पे चलती थी. तो इसीलिए हमें उन चीजों को समझना जरूरी है, दैट व्हाट इज आवर पास्ट एंड व्हाट आर दोस क्वालिटीज दैट वी नीड टू रिवाइव. Second important thing, if we observe our own behavior, and now I'm talking about Muslim community particularly because I belong to it, so I can better understand it. One of the things is that we have focused more on things that may not work in the future. That also has to be negated. Poetry is very important. अल्लामा इकबाल की शायरी बहुत जरूरी है, लेकिन what about the prose of Allama Iqbal? Allama Iqbal has not just given poetry, he has also given prose. Okay, so have we also gone through the prose of Allama Iqbal? Have we started disseminating among our young community the prose of Allama Iqbal? Poetry is too soothing for, and it is required. But rationality is also something which needs to be instilled into our young community. So the second thing is, we have to think about those issues that are going to create the future. Just some examples. We know that according to statistics, Muslim community is economically really backward. And not just backward from the national averages, but it is also backward within itself because there is huge inequality. Now this is a problem. इस backwardness को कोई नहीं कह सकता कि ये backwardness नहीं है. Economic backwardness according to national averages है. Second, education. According to recent All India Survey on Higher Education, gross enrollment ratio Muslims का सबसे कम. मतलब स्कूल लीविंग में वो सबसे आगे. दिस इज सेकेंड थिंग. नाउ व्हाट वी कैन डू टू इंप्रूव इट. वी आर ट्राइंग टू हैव इंस्टीट्यूशंस, एजुकेशन में वी आर गुड, बट वी आर लैगिंग इन वन थिंग, दैट इज ट्रेड, economic activities. Our contribution means everybody is contributing in number of activities. But what is the total capital of our activities? That is really important. जैसे एग्रीकल्चर की अगर बात करें, सर यहाँ पे एग्रीकल्चर का कंट्रीब्यूशन ओवर द लास्ट 2 डिकेड जीडीपी में गिरा है. सर्विस सेक्टर का बढ़ा है. ओके, अब आप देखिए, इफ यू सी दीज minority communities, they have very less access to technical knowledge which is required for the future. Yesterday only एक रिसर्च आई है डिजिटल डिवाइड. डिजिटल डिवाइड का मतलब ये होता है कितने लोग इक्विप्ड हैं फ्यूचर की डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजीज को यूज करने में. एंड डिजिटल डिवाइड is not just a problem of income, but it is also a problem of discrimination. Okay, so it means that we as communities have to give our younger generation those important skills that are required for building the future. They may not be very important today, but they are going to be very important in the future. Then access to capital markets. What about new businesses? We have a different system in India. If you see any developed economy, the system is your credit worthiness and worth will be reflected in the capital market. Here, this is not a scenario due to several issues, but still the issue is that whether we as minority communities, including Muslims, whether we have those skills to access capital markets, how many unlisted companies we have, how many listed companies we have, and this is the future. You know, one of the organizations, sir is a journalist, Reuters ka 56% profit is not from news. It is from the wire transfer related to capital market. सिर्फ वो न्यूज बताने का कि कौन सी कंपनी का फंड कौन सी कंपनी में जा रहा है, मर्जर कहां हो रहा है, एक्विजिशन कहां हो रहा है. Only this much. This changes the whole scenario of the capital in the money market. And this is at the macro level. Reuters एक journalism की फॉर्म है, लेकिन उसका 56% revenue is coming from data and those deals, not from writing news. It's the wire transfer. Do we know in our community what is wire transfer? What are we doing to train people to create their own unlisted companies? Do they know about Section 6 company, that is the one new single entity company? So my submission is that what is going to be important in the future needs to be instilled in the younger generation today. And that should be identified and properly guided to the young generation as well as to those who are going to be there in the future to be the benefit of it. The third is the philosophical understanding of human being, the behavioral understanding. Like sir said कि हम interact कम करते हैं, मिलते कम हैं. Behavioral understanding और cultural understanding ये बहुत जरूरी है. दोनों में थोड़ा सा फर्क है, मैं बताता हूं. यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के एक रिसर्चर ने रिसर्च की और वो रिसर्च पूरी दुनिया में वैलिड है कि अगर एक लंबा आदमी है और एक एवरेज हाइट का आदमी है तो लंबे आदमी के इलेक्शन में जीतने के चांसेस ज्यादा है. मीन बेस्ड ऑन हाइट. ह्यूमन बायस होता है, इसे कहते हैं ह्यूमन बायस. दैट इज बिहेवियरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग. बिहेवियरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग ये है कि ह्यूमन बीइंग के कुछ बिहेवियर हैं जो कि स्टैंडर्ड है, जिनको समझना जरूरी है. यू आर गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? इसीलिए ये बिहेवियर अंडरस्टैंडिंग हमारे किरदार में और हमारी किस तरीके से हम मुखातिब होते हैं गवर्नमेंट से, जो भी स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं उनसे, ये होना बहुत जरूरी है. बिहेवियर अंडरस्टैंडिंग में कल्चरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग अगर हम ले, कहीं पे हाथ मिलाना है, कहीं हाथ नहीं मिलाना. एग्जाम्पल देता हूं, अगर आपका कोई दोस्त है जो ब्राजील से है तो वाकई वो दोस्त है, लेकिन अगर आपका कोई दोस्त है वो चाइना से है तो जरूरी नहीं है वो आपका कोई दोस्त है. अगर हिंदुस्तान में एक टैक्सी ड्राइवर कहता है और मैं पूछता हूं कि क्या मैं डेस्टिनेशन पे पहुंच जाऊंगा, कहता हाँ 10 मिनट में पहुंच जाएगा, इसका मतलब 10 मिनट में नहीं पहुंचा. लेकिन अगर जापान में ड्राइवर कहता है कि मैं 10 मिनट में पहुंच जाऊंगा, वो कहता यस, तो 9 मिनट में वो पहुंचा. कल्चरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग, बिहेवियर, इसके बिना हम अपने फैसले सही नहीं ले सकते. I always tell my students in my class, which is sometimes very funny also, that we should, as a community as well as an individual, we should always know how to use people and how to misuse people. I am saying we should always know. I'm not saying misuse people, but we should know how to use people and how. Because if we know how to misuse, we will not be open to others for misuses, which happens several of times when community initiatives are taken. They go in vain because either the means efforts are not guided properly. So my time is up. Okay, so this is my submission on these issues, and for remedies, we already are having several initiatives. But in education sector, I will like to say that education sector selecting teachers and guides. Even if we talk about in religion, people who are teaching Quran, Hadith, and Sunnah, teachers are the foundation of our community, and we should invest good, things in those areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammad Nayyar Rahman from Aligarh Muslim University, for in-depth expressing his thoughts and in-depth wisdom. Now we move upon, again we'll go back to and bench. College, Tiruchirappalli, Bharatiya Darshan University, stage and express your thoughts. Thank you.
Friends, the topic for which the present meeting has been organized has been going on in my mind for a long time. And when my friend Mr. Mansoori called me, I readily agreed, because actually during vacations at this age, I'm not thinking of working much. Just spending vacation leisurely, either with my family or in nature. But on knowing the importance of the topic, I readily agree. So our community is backward. How? Is it philosophically or theoretically or theologically? No. Economically, we are backward. Psychologically, we are backward. Why? That we have to understand, and what we contribute for removing all this backwardness. Just you see this meeting. I used to attend many meetings, whether it is by our people or others, just to know what happens. So I have attended the meetings of an RSS organization, Adhivatta Parishad. It is an association of advocates in RSS. Suppose time is fixed at 4 o'clock. It is just organized in Delhi, it is organized just opposite the Supreme Court. If it is organized at 4 o'clock, whatever may be the strength of the hall, the number of chairs which is available, it will be hot packed at 350 itself. But you see, this is the second meeting of our people I am attending in Delhi in the last 8 years of my practice in Delhi. Hardly 1/3 of the chairs are occupied. Some 1 year before, I attended one meeting in India Islamic Cultural Center. Even after half an hour from the time fixed for commencement of meeting, hardly half of the chairs were occupied. See the topic and the title. It is an All India conference. Even if it is 3 people from every state, at least half of this hall should have been occupied. See, what is the problem in our community? There is an absence of motivation. So we are doing something. I am an advocate. I am a senior advocate. My friend Mansoori, he is an advocate. We are having scientists. We are having just now the teaching professor from Aligarh Muslim University delivered an excellent speech, and we are having a scientist. Then journalists, all people, whether they are practicing or other religion and they know the Muslim, whatever may be the thing. What is the motivation we are having to come up in life? See, you just read the history. What happened during World War II and also immediately after World War II for Japan? 2 atomic bombs were dropped in that country, and economically it suffered a lot. But what was decided by the people? there was a motivation on the part of the Japanese to come up. That motivation compelled those people to work in the field wherever they were. And within about 10 or 15 years, Japan regained its dominance in economic field and scientific field. See, when we got independence in 1947, the value of rupee was more than that of Chinese, of Japanese. No difference. Why? Japanese work hard. We are not at all doing anything. Just we are speaking. That's all. Beyond speaking, we are not at all doing anything. We should have the motivation. Even for attending this important conference, it's a small hall. Maybe 115, maybe the strength. We are not having even 1/3 of the hall occupied. This is the thing we are having. So the first thing we are having is, we want to have is the motivation to come up in our life in whatever the areas we are practicing, we are in. It need not be in any particular field. If you are a teacher, work hard, acquire more knowledge, and improve talent of delivering the knowledge. Doing it, nationally you would become more popular. Your name would be taken as an example by others. So and so Muhammad, so and so Abdul, like that, whatever everything. Some Muslim name would become prominent in the field of teaching. If you are an advocate, become more popular. See, now, whatever the problems we are having in the judiciary, to whom we are rushing? We are rushing to the names who are not Muslims. Even our own people, even if we are having the problems in the judiciary, we are rushing not to the Muslims but to others. Why? The number of people are there, but talent is lacking. The motivation on our people are lacking to excel in their respective fields. You see the hospitals, almost, though the strength of our people in the population is almost 15%, I think. In the medical area, almost 20% of the whole doctors are from our community. But how many people have established the known hospitals? Almost nil. You see the Fortis hospital here, Apollo hospital there, everywhere, whatever may be their names. Our people, just what they are doing is, we are doing something for the purpose of earning money to spend for our own self and for our people or for our family. Just going to mosque 5 times, observing, fasting, just attending these meetings for the purpose of spending our time and going away. We are not trying anything to achieve any excellence in the field in which we are. That is the problem of our community. See, we can establish the Chamber of Commerce. Yes. Today itself we are floating it. We are issuing application form. All of you are coming, filling up the application form, whatever this subscription, you are paying. Then what should be done? It will be a letterhead organization. See, this is National Minority Legal Council, All India Council. There are some members. Some meetings are organized. Beyond Delhi, even in Delhi, I came to know this only from my friend Mansuri. See, we are having so many letterpads everywhere. Beyond letterpads, we are not moving forward. So, what I suggest is, community wants all services in whatever field we are. Suppose you assume that a big person everywhere, all of a sudden some 20 lakh people become doctors. There will not be any patient. You know about software industry, some 10 years back or 15 years back, studying these subjects in colleges, they used to get appointment letters. So there were a craze among our community in the marriage market. In extending the loan from the banks, there was a craze. But now what happens? If we say that I'm in the software industry, nobody will give any respect. We know there is no job at all. Even those persons who are in the job, we don't know when they will lose their job. So like this, each and every field in which you people, whether it is teaching, it is a business, small business, big business, or even some welding shop, repairing shop, electrician. See, recently I can tell you one thing. This organization, this RSS organization conducted one census. It found that in the profession of electrician, lift operators, and drivers, almost Muslim communities dominating. They got a fear. Suppose that organization decide to strike a level because of some issue to the Muslim community or anything else. Entire community, entire country would come to a standstill. Entire economic activity would come to a standstill. That was the realization on the part of that organization. Like that, you concentrate in any field. You may be having a small shop, computer shop. You may be doing some repair, cell phone repair. Community recovers it. You try to excel. You are having the educational institution. Try to add more courses which are socially oriented and which the society requires. Try to see that more people are enrolled in that course. You are an advocate. Try to see that the people from our community, they join you. Say, I made an offer some time back. Any Muslim advocate want to get training in the law, practice of law, really because we got a